Yeah. Silences.
Is it? We should. Have you got any food?
Microphone's there for anyone who needs it. You? We sorted that.
Be nice to have been told.
Right, so good evening, everyone. I think first thing, that's a reminder, mobile phones to silent, please. And if you do need to answer the call, please go outside respectfully. So welcome to the Wallace Lawler Centre. Bishop Dr. Desmond Jadu. I am from Birmingham Empowerment Forum, and we also, as Birmingham Empowerment Forum, run the independent community forums in the area. We're involved with Burberry Park, Central Newtown, Small Heath, King Standing, Aston, Lascelles. We've got one in Palfrey Walsall as well, and we've got one coming on board in King's Heath. My purpose here tonight is to look at this project in terms of particularly community engagement. So first thing, there is a fire alarm system here. So if the fire alarm should go off, fire exit there, or back through the way in which you came. The toilets are just out this door, and if you go to your right, there's a disabled toilet, and then the ladies and gents are in the corner. And that's it. Please feel free, if you've not registered, please do so. There are teas and coffees for whoever's come in, and at the end of the evening as well, there will be some food and an opportunity to speak to the presenters at this evening's meeting. I think first of all, it's only right that we welcome Benjamin's family, Tipper and Millicent. Welcome to you. And it's quite right as well, at this time we just have a moment's silence. We're coming up to the anniversary of Benjamin's passing, and it's right that we have a minute's silence at this time. So please, if the mobile phones are on, please put them to silence at this time. Thank you very much, everybody. Okay, so why are we here? Well, Berry Empowerment Forum and Burberry Park, we were approached by the Tree People to team up following, I think, Jones' brother David spoke with the Tree People about honouring Benjamin. So the first thing I want to share with you tonight, why is it important to honour Benjamin in Burberry Park? Well, how many of you knew that they used to live in Farm Street, the old Farm Street, before they had tower blocks and things like that? And that he went to Farm Street Primary School, for which I think the building's still there, but it's a church now, isn't it? So that building's still there. Some of you have seen the video. I made the video and started it behind the primary school. So this is an important area. And if you saw some reports, he actually reflected that he remembers a white chap chasing him down Farm Street as well. Yes, there is some footage of him being interviewed and talking about that. And then also his connection with Newtown didn't end there when the family moved from Farm Street. They at some point lived in Oxbridge Street as well, which is over by Ray Tower side as well. So there is a strong connection to Newtown. So and the locality anyway, because after that they moved to Perry Bar, etc. But the important thing is, it's important that we honour him, because this is a young man that was born just like many of us, because many of us can reflect with that journey, because we were born, our parents were classed as immigrants coming from the Caribbean, were born here, and the education system sometimes at that time didn't really look out for us, as it didn't Benjamin either, because he went to Broadway school. I went there as well, and he sadly was excluded, but he realized his talent, and his talent moved him towards greatness. And that's all I'm going to say on it, because do you know something? From humble beginnings, he became world renowned and well respected, and ended up in Peaky Blinders as well, playing a minister. But the point is, at the end of the day, it's important that we honor the legacy of those who have gone. And it's important as well that we use this as an opportunity to educate our youngsters that despite whatever they face, there is hope as well. And I think that's absolutely crucial, because if Benjamin can do it, what it means that others can do it as well. You just got to be determined. Benjamin was 65 years old when he died. So that's hence why 65 trees are going to be planted in his memory, one for each year of his life. In addition to that, my conversation with the Tree People, you'll recall, we talked about how does this forest get looked after. We just don't want a forest being planted there and I'll be blunt, in the name of a black man, and then it just becomes glorified overgrown woodland. We don't want that. So we as the community must also play our part in taking ownership of what's happening. And one of the things we discussed was the provision of fruit trees, so that the young people, if they're feeling peckish and there's an apple on the tree, they can pick it and eat it. But to do that, they have to play their part in looking after it as well. And that's important, isn't it? So that we do the right thing. And also as well, Burberry Park has been there for a number of years, sometimes forgotten about. Sometimes, we hear no mow May or whatever it is. It's just an excuse not to cut the grass for a month and save a bit of money. The lights weren't working at one point as well. We've got a nice hub there, which really we need for the community more than anything else. But we've got to be active and doing stuff as well. So that's what tonight's about. It's about giving an opportunity for you to take part, for you to play your part as well. It's not just a matter that the Tree People do what they're doing and they'll maintain the trees. I think it's 2 years initially, and then Burberry Park Community Forum runs some activities. It's about also moving towards you being involved in a long-term planning of taking ownership of Burberry Park, because it's a lovely park. And when it first opened, it was great. Many people remember going there playing basketball, football, etc. But obviously, we're not here to talk about the park being run down. We're here to talk about rejuvenating that park and rejuvenating it in the name of Benjamin Zephaniah. That's the important thing. So these 65 trees could be the beginning of a showpiece park in Newtown. And let's be honest, people only have negative things to say about the area. Would you agree with me? So let's start pushing positivity in this area. And I'm sure you've learned something tonight, because how many of you actually knew that Benjamin and Zephaniah lived in Newtown? Just show of hands. How many of you knew? How many of you knew that he lived just over there by Lucas's? That's the point, isn't it? Not many. But you see, that's the importance of us telling our and sharing our history as well. So tonight, you're going to hear from the tree people about what they're going to do. And I mean, my major interest is the 12 apple trees, because I need to keep my weight up as well. No, not really. Not really at all. My interest is that we have a showpiece forest in the name of Benjamin Zephaniah. His sister Millie's smiling because I think she loves that idea of having something really nice in his memory where they used to live. So they are stakeholders in the area, and I think that's important as well. So you'll hear from the tree people shortly, who will tell you what they plan to do. Then you'll hear from Burnbury Park Community Forum. You'll hear from Sonia and Deborah. And Deborah's quite keen on having the trees, and she'll tell you why. Leave that for Deborah. She will tell you why. No. She lives locally. She loves that park, and she wants to see that park thrive. And that's what's important as well. So tonight, what's the purpose of you being here? We don't just want you to listen. We want you to get involved. There's an opportunity to get involved. Maybe like me, you're getting on a bit and you don't want to dig holes to plant trees. But there are various roles that you can play when you get involved. This is a long-term project, so it's not a project that's going to be here today and forgotten about tomorrow. Importantly as well, we have to ensure that this project gets our children to understand the importance of the park, understand the importance of trees, understand the importance of, well, if you look after what you've got by having apple trees, they'll see the benefit of looking after what is there. Okay? So I'm going to leave it there. You've heard enough from me for the moment. I'll be back, unfortunately. I'm going to hand over to Tanya now, initially from the Tree People, and herself and colleagues are going to talk to you about that. So please welcome her.
Thank you so much. It's so lovely to be here. Thank you. So just a little bit about Birmingham Tree People. So we're a very small charity in Birmingham. We've been going for about 8 years, and our role is to plant, protect and promote trees in the city, because we just love trees and we think they're a really good thing, and we're trying to get more and more in the city. So yeah, tiny little organisation, but we've got our staff are here, Charlie and Katie, and Jim is one of our trustees, and Charlie does a lot on Instagram and stuff like that. And David, Benjamin's brother, saw some of our stuff and said, oh, it'd be great to plant a tree. So we had a meeting with him and said, just one tree? Really? BC, you have just planted one tree. Somewhere else is just planting one tree. Why not 65 trees? So then it was a matter of like, oh, where? So Burberry Park, ideal place. Dr. Jaddy's right about the no mow May. We went for a walk in Burberry Park. Was it August?
Yes.
It was August. The grass was up to here. We were like scything through it like this, trying to find places to plant trees. So there's obviously a lot of work that needs to happen in the park just to kind of keep it nice. So we'd really like to be part of that. If you'll let us be part of that, that would be really great. So going into the park then, we've got 65 trees. 12 of them are fruit trees. I'm not sure that they're all apple trees. There might be some cherries, some plums, some pears, things like that.
Right.
And part of one of the things that we do is we have tree experts who work with us, and we're going to get one of them to come down. So Katie's going to do some stuff with you guys around planting the trees and how to plant trees and look after them. And then we're going to come back in February and do some stuff around tree pruning. So if you've got a fruit tree, we'll be teaching people about how to prune a fruit tree and look after it, and then we'll keep coming back. So I've brought some pictures here of some of the trees that are going in. So I stupidly only did one because it's on my colour printer at home and it costs a fortune. But anyway, I'll pass them around. So there's trees that are going in, and we've chosen trees that are just, if you have a look at them, that are absolutely stunning colours. So the trees are things like, so we've got fig trees going in, we've got foxglove trees, we've got Judas trees, we've got oh god, this is the point where I printed it out too little. Bay willow we've got going in, tamarisk trees, we've got some of those too. A real range of either beautiful autumn colour or lovely summer blossom, because I think we all get a bit fed up with just like loads of green trees all the time. I mean, green trees are great in terms of the environment and habitats and stuff, but wouldn't it be nice to have like a range of different trees? So there's a whole mix of trees, Indian bean trees going in, liquid amber, which is just so beautiful, tulip trees going in as well. Magnolia, we've got some magnolia too. So some really gorgeous looking trees. So, oh yeah, we should have just held it up for the camera. But yeah, if you keep passing them around, you can have a look at all the different trees. So as well as the 12 fruit trees. So I'm now going to do you want to say a bit about the other bit? So as well as the trees, there's also the, okay, listen to this for a really silly link, the poetry.
Hand over to me. So, not only are we going to plant 65 trees in Benjamin's memory to commemorate every year of his life, we're going to have 65 poems paired with the 65 trees. They're going to be documented online on the website through Tree Plotter, which is the software that we use to plot our trees. So we'll be able to actually build a 65 strong tree trail in the park, which I'm hoping Dee is going to help me with. I'm just going to wrangle her in. And on Tree Plotter, you can include the poems as a note, but also I want to use a non-invasive method on the trees for the winners of the poetry competition, which is called Trees Please, Poetry Please, named after one of his most famous poems, of course. But inspired by your session with Bradley, who is also working with me at the moment, I want to print a sheet laminated with just a little bit of string, and that's going to be attached to the trees. And I want to encourage the poets to come back to the park when these pieces of paper get damaged over time, replace their own poems, water the trees, make sure that they're looking after them as an accompaniment to the community engagement that's happening within it as well. So it's literally all about taking ownership of the trees and making sure that they survive in Benjamin's name. And I'm not going to waffle on anymore. I'll leave it there. Thank you very much.
Okay. Oh, this is Jim. He's one of our trustees.
Hello, I just want to just say a couple of words about how we raise the funding, because these trees didn't sort of magic out of thin air. So we had to spend a while trying to raise the funds. And we were, each tree was about £250, something along those lines, because they're not small trees. They're trees that are 2 meters plus high, and as I say, £250 each, 65 trees. Then you've got all the stakes that you have to go in, all the wire meshing, all the water pipes and so on, stakes and so on. So it really does add up. So in total, it was about 28,000. So a few months ago, we thought, how are we going to do this? So we started a campaign. I think it was late spring, wasn't it? And we were so lucky. We got over 100 backers, and we started this campaign. Some backers just pledged £2, £5, £10. Didn't really matter how much. We had the whole range of people backing the campaign. We had Birmingham City Council helped us as well from ring fence money. I think it was sort of levelling up money. I think it was that came through them as well. And also Trees for Cities, a charity that really helps trees in urban environments. They came up with, I think, around £15,000. So that was a really fantastic one. So I'd like to thank them as well. But really the community helped as well. As I say, small amounts, every pound really helps. So thank you very much, those people who contributed. It really made a real difference. So we hit our target 2 or 3 weeks ago, just in time. So now we've got the trees, they've all been delivered. So we're very excited about the next stage of the project. So I'll just give you the backstory of that. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tonya. Any questions for the tree people based on what they've said? Because there will be an opportunity. There'll be an opportunity afterwards when we finish to speak with them directly.
You mentioned when you were giving your opening address
Mhm.
that tree people would maintain the trees for 2 years or something.
Well, water them for 3 years.
I'll water them.
Yeah.
Right.
So what we'll do is we'll teach people how to do the pruning of the fruit trees. We're doing pruning as we're putting trees in to make sure that they'll grow properly. But to be honest, a tree, it just kind of sorts itself out. You know, as long as nobody messes with it, they just kind of grow properly. So as long as we keep them watered, I have to say we didn't do much watering this summer because I think it rained every single day. So if it's the same next summer, we won't need to water them. But if it's a hot summer like 2022, then we will need to come out and water them.
Okay, Sifa?
Yeah, just one last
Go on.
question. Sorry. Who owns the land?
The City Council.
Does it all belong to the Birmingham City Council?
Yes.
The whole plot?
Yes, and we had to get permission from them to do this. And we got permission from the councillors and the head of parks to do this as well.
Rashida.
Hi, about the poems, which is a brilliant idea, I think. How are you going to sort of let people know? So are you going to go to schools, get children to write poems, enter the competition? Or can it be anyone from Newtown, the ward?
Anyone.
There's no age restriction.
There's
So you
no
can...
age restriction. No, I think it's been promoted in schools, but by different people. I've been to different events, networking. Sorry, I should probably stand up again, shouldn't I? So I've been to different places, networking. There's no age limit. I didn't want it to be like that. Benjamin wouldn't be like that. It's open to everybody, multiculturalism. Yeah, no restrictions. The only restriction is that it needs to fit on a page. That's one restriction, saying that. And then obviously the themes are Benjamin and nature. And a lot of people have written about the two of them together, which has been very nice.
Okay.
It is, because I'm part of Scouts as well. So I can also send it to the Spitfire district and the other districts as well. And I'm also Holt School teacher, so we're just up the road and we've got 2 schools right next door. So again, please send it over my way. I'm more than happy to distribute and get more people on board.
It's on our website. Yeah, the form to submit is on our website, birminghamtreepeople.org.uk. You can Google us and you'll find us pretty easily enough if I've done a decent job of the SEO. But so yeah. Any other questions about the poetry? No?
Great.
Deadline. Oh, sorry.
No.
Just to say, the deadline is the 1st of December, so it is coming up very, very soon. Yeah. It's been open for quite a few months, the poetry competition. So if you can squeeze them in super quickly, that would be amazing.
Okay, great. Just to let you know, we've written to the schools because that's why you're here, because obviously we sent to Holt School, but we've I've got a meeting tomorrow with Anglesey School, and I know there's supposed to be a meeting with Holt anyway, which we'll chase up. And if you can have a word with me, I'll let you know afterwards who sent me the emails. So we know that we've written to all the other schools as well. So waiting for responses. I'm quite prepared to meet all the schools this week if necessary as well to get them on board. One of the important things as well that you need to take away before we go to Burberry Park Community Forum is that many of us are parents, some are grandparents here, not giving away anybody's age, but it's important to get the kids involved as well. You know, and that's who we mainly want to be involved in this, because at the end of the day, they are the future and they will respect that as well. You know, moving forward. And in terms of the longer term maintenance of the trees, because you've touched on that, we've had a conversation. Somehow between the community forums, they will form a team to look after. That's the aim. That's the vision. So we can talk about what the vision is to look after the trees and the park moving forward. But that's something in the future. So rest assured, and I think, you know, you need that reassurance that, you know, as far as it's concerned, the forums aren't going to just let it just be a glorified woodland. We've heard the fantastic plans, but it's the importance of maintaining the vision as well in Benjamin's memory. So thank you very much for that. So over to Sonia and Deborah from Burberry Park Community Forum. Please welcome them.
Good evening, everyone. Where shall I start? Thank everybody for coming and the family. When we were told about the project, it was September. So since September, oh,
There you are.
can't you hear me?
Come on.
Oh, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me now? Oh, sorry about that. Let me start again. I don't need to stand up. Is that better? Sorry. Hi there, everyone. I'm very shy. When we were approached, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, when we were approached back in September and we came on board, we were quite surprised and happy to know such a fantastic project would be taking part right on our doorstep. Just a quick few details. Burberry Park Community Forum, we've been going again for 4 years. Now, it's been established for over 25 years, the actual residents of the community. Hence, put my hand up. I didn't know Benjamin lived so near, and all this was being done. So, working alongside Tanya, Katie, Charlotte, and Dr. Jeffrey and Bishop, we've come up with the ongoing vision that we've been doing for the park to get everybody back out in the park. Because as children, many of us of that generation, we knew what it was like. You'd get up at 7, 8 o'clock, do all your chores, and you'd be in the park till night came. So with the orchard being built and going forward, we want everybody to get their children, their grandchildren out to visit the park and take part in bringing the community back together for our well-being and all the diverse communities. Doesn't matter where you're from, where you come from, everybody knows how to play and interact. And Burberry Park itself has got a lot of activities that go on, and sometimes people aren't aware of it, but we do have fun days in the park. And working with Charlotte and Kate, we've got a couple of events coming up, working alongside the Benjamin Zephaniah. So on the 7th of December, we plan to have a poetry and activities nature trail in the park. So any of the poems that aren't used for the poem, we're going to still be doing it ongoing because the 1st of December is short and there's a lot of people that weren't aware. And if you can get your grandchildren out or your or yourself, nobody, people in this room, doesn't have to be a long poem. Get it out, and we want to take it forward and just encourage the rest of the community to come out because we all know that nothing's nicer than being out in the breeze, smelling nature and looking around and thinking, this is where we live, this is nice. Look at how we can enjoy Benjamin's legacy and also enjoy ourselves. And everybody comes along and we work together and get everybody out. I know sometimes people can't always find the time. You promise that you might come, even if it's once every 3 months. You just have that little input, even if it's just to tell your family or friends that come down, come and have a look at the park. The wider it spreads, the more people that get involved. Because it's not just for Newtown, it's for people from all over the country. We want people from Scotland, Ireland, everybody to come and say, you know what? Let's go and see what's going on in that Burberry Park. Benjamin was known all over the world. Let's go and have a look at his legacy, read some of his poems. Let's see what we can do. And that way, rolling forward, we can keep the poetry ongoing and have an annual poetry event. That's one of the things we want to do. And then when the annual event comes up, we're going to have another meeting and an open day for everybody to come. And perhaps what we can do, the parents and the family agree, in the summer, we can have a fun day for Benjamin to get all the other communities and people out to come along and see what was planted, what started growing in winter when it's flourished for the summer, and and vice versa. So the circle of the trees and the life of the forest or the slash orchard continues. So even whether there are no fruits, we can still go out and maintain it, and the children can see how the fruit grow and how they can enjoy them. So that's one of the things. But I'm not going to waffle on too much because there's a lot more to be said and done. But we just have to keep together, and from small oak trees, from small acorn, big oak tree will grow. So that's the vision that we want for everybody to continue to support the trees. And with 65 trees, there's a lot of work that needs to go in, and there's a lot of residents that aren't here tonight for whatever reason. But we will keep the memento going. And even if they have to get outside people and from the other two forums that aren't here, we will make it go because it's a promise and it's a vision that we've had and we will continue. So I'll hold Bishop to that. and the tree people, even after 3 years, will still be coming looking for you. Don't think, and you, Chair. So don't think you'll be getting away that easy. And on that, I'll pass you over to my colleague. Thank you very much for listening.
Okay, right. My name is.
They can hear you.
Okay, my name's Deborah. I've been a resident here in Newtown since I was 6, and I've seen many changes. But of recently, I had the great privilege of training to be a community researcher and being asked to interview residents on behalf of Natural England and the Centre for Urban Wellbeing at Birmingham University, asking me to interview residents about their experience of green spaces in what we call red zone areas, or areas that are predominantly built up, very few green spaces other than the green space between the pavement and the house. And I really enjoyed doing that, and I learnt a lot from the opinions people were giving about living in areas like this, where they really struggle to even know whether or not this could be an even greener space. And they thought this is all that they would ever be entitled to is very small green spaces, lawns here and there, recognising that lots of residents were paving their back gardens or doing various things that was about actually taking away and diminishing nature. And in doing this research, I've really become quite passionate about green spaces and recognising the value of being able to look out your window and see something green rather than something concrete, to see people trying to make an effort to grow things, whether that's a rose bush or a little bit of lawn or something in a pot, and how much that really kind of restores our connection to nature and our health. And in preparing for an event that happened in June this year at Birmingham Settlement, and I was doing some research, I came across Benjamin's poem, Trees, Please, and I thought that was perfect. And I asked for that to be up in the Birmingham Settlement, and we all read that through. And then to know that this is happening, I thought that is synchronicitous.
Ooh. Can you say it again?
No, I'm not. I said it once, I can't say it twice. That I just felt that actually there's a message being sent that we really need to appreciate nature, and particularly in areas like this. We are really blessed to have not just Burberry Park, but all the other green spaces in Newtown. And we really need to protect them and grow them and look after them. And what I would say is, yes, we need to invest in our young people. They're going to be future custodians, aren't they, for our nature. But just because you're over 18 doesn't mean to say we should be kind of sent out and retired, because people of our age need to be getting out and doing things as well for our mental health and for our physical health. We shouldn't all be sitting in the house watching Emmerdale. We should be going out. We should be going out and making sure every day we touch base with nature on some level. I mean, even if you want to call yourself a tree hugger, that's fine, but touch some nature and be involved in your community and the nature in your community. And I'm really passionate about that. And so I'm really excited about this forest and how it's going to look. So, yeah, let's keep going forward. Thanks.
Thank you. And for the record, I don't watch Emmerdale, EastEnders, or Coronation Street. I know.
What's wrong with watching those? I mean, that's,
That's about
You
nature,
learn about
Medea.
it.
I don't get the time to watch it.
You got to keep the
I mean, to be
going.
honest, if we could plant 2 wacky trees over there and 2 breadfruit trees, that would do me
Well,
quite
you
nicely
know,
as well. Right, so you've heard what it's about tonight. And just before I go into next steps, I think it's important now that we hear from the most important people here tonight, and that's Benjamin's family. So please welcome Tipper and Millicent. can't help it.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we really wanted to be here tonight for two reasons, really. Well, three. One, because this is about our brother. Two, because we just wanted to hear the practicalities about how this is going to work, how it's going to be funded, who's going to manage that funding, etc. And third, because we want to be involved in this forest for as long as it's there. You know, so members of my family will be coming to the forest to help look after them, and so on and so forth. You were right, Benjamin did live in Newtown, but that was a long time ago because, you know, he lived in London for many years and then he moved to Lincolnshire. And they are developing Benjamin's Zephaniah forest in Lincolnshire as well. No, they had the idea before you guys. But it's a different thing. One of Benjamin's neighbours is a farmer, and he had one particular field. I mean, Benjamin always used to say to Benjamin, I don't know what to do with this piece of land because it's not good for farming because it's kind of like that. And Benjamin used to say to him all the time in a joke, just plant a forest, man. So when he died, they actually honoured that and are inviting people to come and bring trees to plant. But this one's better because it's in our backyard.
That's what I wanted to hear too.
And it's where we live. So that's all I'll say for the minute. I'm going to hand over to my sister, but I do have a couple of things I just wanted to pick up on, particularly from the two sisters here. But Mil, you want to?
I don't know why my brother handed me the mic, but anyway, Benjamin was proud of where he come from, and he would have loved to see what you all guys. I'm sure he's looking down on everybody and thinking how proud he would have been of the trees. And if you get the opportunity to read any of Benji's books, he has got the tree poem. It's quite moving. Leave the trees, please. Leave the trees alone. It's moving. So he was passionate about greens. He was passionate about people, human beings. He loved where he come from. He never stopped coming to Birmingham, even when we didn't know he was here. He was here at our junior school, at our secondary school. I mean, we went to Deakin Avenue, we went to Fenton first, then we went to Deakin Avenue, then we went to Broadway, went to Canterbury Broadway. But Benji never forgot his roots. He never forgot where he come from. He never forgot his family. But due to how famous he started to get, paparazzi was giving him house, so he moved out of London and went to Lincolnshire, where he actually passed away. But I'd like to say on the behalf of my family, we're very proud. We're very proud of the people in Newtown. We're very proud of the tree people and everybody who has done the fundraising to get the money to plant the trees. I can't wait to pick a couple of apples. I'm sorry. I'm looking forward to even digging I might have one leg, but I'm looking forward to digging a couple of holes and planting trees. And I know that Benji would be so proud, and I know he's looking down and clapping and dancing up there, and it's lovely. And thank you all. Thank you all for coming tonight to listen to everybody. Thank you, Bishop. Thank you, everybody, and God bless you.
Just picking up on a couple of things that the sisters said earlier. I think the Black History Walk Network would be definitely interested in putting the forest on their map of walks. I don't know how many of you know about the Black History Walks Network, but they do walks all the time to parts of Birmingham that have history connected to Black, Asian, and African people that people didn't know about, you know. And I think it would be really useful if the forum would speak to Black History Walks Network. You know Dawn Carr, right? Yeah. She's the person to contact. So that was my first thing. Second thing you mentioned about a fun day. I think that would be great. And contrary to popular belief, Benjamin wasn't born in April, he was born in March. But March is normally still quite cold, right? For a fun day. But I would definitely support that. And I think we as a family would do what we can to provide you with images, banners, information about Benjamin that you could use on those fun days. And lastly, Benjamin was really passionate about children's hospices. We didn't even know he was the patron of Acorns Children's Hospital, the one in Birmingham. And I went to visit them a few months ago, and they said, no, actually, he was the patron of all 3 Acorns in the West Midlands. And he would just turn up and want to play with the kids and talk to them and do poems with them. So he loved children. So I like the fact that the forum's proposal has a direct link to children. Because Benjamin loved children, he couldn't have any of his own, which is why he loved them so much, to make up for the fact he didn't have any of his own. And then the final thing for me is, Desmond knows me, I work in the volunteer sector. I've worked in charities for 40 years, practically all my life. Set up my first charity in Handsworth when I was 17. And I know that what you're proposing will take some funding. What is the situation in terms of how you're going to resource looking after the trees and engaging the local people? That's going to cost. So do you have any proposals around how you're going to fund it? I think, apart from that one question about the funding, from what we've heard tonight, because it's so ingrained in the forum and the young people, we definitely would endorse this. The only question for me is, how is it going to be resourced?
Yep. Great, thank you. Thank you very much, Tipper. Please. I think there's one question there. We do have a Friends of Burberry Park already formed. That'll be activated now alongside the community forum. We've sorted out how the governance will happen with that, and through Birmingham Open Spaces Forum, but we can go to other funders for this as well. And because Benjamin is a member of the Windrush generation, there are specific funds that we can go to as well to resource it. Also, in addition to that, his work on equality and social justice. Remember when we were on those marches together, all of us, because of his background there are specific funders that may well want to do this in his memory in terms of the work we all did around equality and social justice as well, in addition to wherever Birmingham Tree people can point us as well.
Yes, so I was just going to say,
Yeah.
So we're going to carry on fundraising for the maintenance and the watering.
Yeah.
So,
But the longer term vision is what you're talking about, which we had the conversation about, because we do talk outside of here. The importance is how do we maintain it? So there is a vision there, and we've just got to turn that vision into reality. So, go on.
sorry, Doctor, isn't there a bit of funding?
That's what I was gonna say.
Benches
Yes, Tanya, yeah, we've got money to get some, sorry, we've got some funding that we will be buying some litter picks for the next few months to start off. We got funding from the tree people, so I've got some money to buy some litter picks and some gloves and protective and bags to collect the waste once we start. So we've got some money there to start off the board. So Tanya, sorry about that, I did forget to say that. So we've got some money for that. And also on the 7th of December, we'll be having, in Burberry Park, we've got the centre, courtesy of Miss Pat White at the back. So we're going to be having a fun day, sorry Pat, a fun day, where we're going to be asking the community, the residents and the children to come out and do a little taster session, because I spoke to Katie and she's given me a website to order some apples similar to the ones that will be on the tree when they're bare, so the children can come out. We're going to have some prizes, some little games for the children. Come out for an hour and a half, run around. We're going to have a nature trail, tree hunting trail, something. So we've got something there, Tipper, to start off before the tree planting, which will be, which I'll let Katie continue from there.
Yeah, we'll come on to that in a sec, because we're going to go on to next steps. So we're going to go to next steps now. So next steps are, you've got this, please take that with you as well. And we've got some extra copies you can take back to Holt if necessary. as well. So it talks about the fun day on the 7th of December, 10:30 till 12:30 at the Burberry Park Centre, and it talks about what you to expect. And Katie is now going to talk us about the event on the 19th.
Sorry, Doctor.
Yes.
So, was that date picked at random, or did you guys?
Which one?
The 7th.
Because that was actually the day that Benjamin passed.
Yes, that's right. That was picked specifically.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
Hi everyone. So the next event after the 7th is the orchard planting day on the 19th of December. It's 1:30 to 3:30 in the park, and it'll be the final 12 trees of the forest. So to repeat, the 19th of December, 1:30 to 3:30. Thank you. The microphone's throwing me. In the park, we're going to be doing the tree planting. We'll have lots of people there to support. It'd be great to connect with you at Holt School, and so it'll be the second to last day of term. So we're hoping maybe schools might be able to come out early and to join. We're going to have some drummers, some African drummers. I think Dr. Judge is going to secure some warm apple juice. We're going to do some tree decorating, poetry performances. Maybe Deborah might perform a poem. Maybe. And yeah, so a couple of hours, tree orchard related, apple related things. Yeah, please come and find me if you've got people that you think we should invite. Links to schools. It'd be great to get as many people there as possible, as it'll be the last planting day, I think, at the forest. So yeah, I'm working with Sonia and Deborah on that.
Thanks very much. So, additional next steps now. Moving forward, we are going to look after the governance of the park, etc., but that's more longer term. The shorter term next steps will be, we've just outlined those, the 7th and the 19th for the tree planting. I will be communicating with the schools, trying to get them to come on the 19th as well. We're in touch with Holt. We've got Anglesey School, which I'm meeting with tomorrow as well, to see if they can join in. You as well, we need your help. So I'm hoping that there's Tonya here and Katie, that you speak to them afterwards. They will take your details if you are keen to get involved, which I expect everyone should be. So they'll take your details. Please see them afterwards. So Tonya was sitting next to me and Katie just spoke to you. So see them, please, and please do help. Just additional information regarding Burberry Park Forum. Newtown Forum meetings will recommence in February when we get to when it's not so much darker nights and when we don't get any more storms at the moment as well. Another announcement: our Christmas food bank is Saturday, the 21st of December. Is that right?
Yes,
the
Bishop.
21st. So 21st of December at 11 o'clock. It's going to be a special one because we've got a load of clothing, brand new clothing, trainers, etc. as well, to go with the fresh food items. And that's one of the things that we're switching our food bank to, is that, and Tipper, you'll love this, we're doing fresh food items now, as opposed to processed foods. You know, we're even giving yam and banana and plantain and everything else. And, you know, we're getting in some Asian fresh foods as well. So just to let you know that we are really taking what we do in Burberry Park back to nature as much as we possibly can. That's why we wanted a couple of breadfruit trees, but I was told they wouldn't bear. There is food afterwards. Please stay behind. Please help yourselves. There's more than enough to go around. And you'll have an opportunity to speak to Tipper and Millie, and you'll have an opportunity to speak to the tree people as well. So just in closing, and I know that I just want to acknowledge Donald Campbell, who is here from the Veterans Association, who I know they are West Indian servicemen who served during the war, and he wants to talk about planting a tree in Burberry Park in memory of the service personnel as well, and maybe it could be a joint effort to be spoken about. And also as well, thank you, Pat White, for your ongoing support as well with everything that goes on here. So, and our secretary of the forums, our secretariat, Majid Khan, who's sitting there at the back as well. So we're just going to close now, and we've got this room till 8:30. It's 7:35. We're doing quite well. Yep, go on.
Can I just like to say thank you to Dr. Angela Jeffrey for all your help and support from Legacy coming over and helping us. So we can't leave you out because you've been a very big help to us. So acknowledgement needs to be said.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hello everyone. We've been working on a Newtown cultural strategy. It's on the Legacy Centre website, and it's got the Benjamin Zephaniah Forest in there. But we really welcome any feedback on that. So if people are happy to look at that and there's a feedback form, that'd be wonderful. Because we want to make sure that.
Again, I don't think.
Sorry.
Say it again. I think everybody never got you.
Oh,
Sorry.
So we've been working on a Newtown cultural strategy. So looking at what's already in Newtown, what are the cultural assets that we've already got, and what would we like to see in the future. So we've already mentioned the forest in there, but we're really keen to get other input and just think about events that might go alongside that. And then we're also holding Newtown Community Day on the 14th of December. So lots of things happening in December. And all of you are welcome, and it's free. And there'll be food and music and other things.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. And just before I close, just want to acknowledge some of our other additional chairs here. So Central Newtown, we've got Valerie Simpson just there. South Aston Matters Community Forum, which is Dorothy Gerald, just there, and also Ray, who is Aston Voice as well, which covers North Aston as well. So there will be support, and this message will go out there. So it's only right that we close. I think, Tanya, you had this because I couldn't read the writing, so we're going to read one of Benjamin's poems. So, trees, please. Leave the trees, please. 'Cause the trees work with the breeze to put all things at ease. So leave the trees, please. You see, down in Somerset, England, I know a tree that is 1,500 years old. That is a wise tree. That is a tree I need to talk to. That is a tree we animals should listen to. For millions of animals, trees are a home. Trees can help shelter you home. So leave the trees alone. Trees make oxygen. Let me say that again. Trees make oxygen. So make a tree your friend. Leave the trees, please. Because the trees work with the breeze to put all living things at ease. And they help the birds and the bees. Old and wise are all of these. So leave the trees, please. Just leave the trees, please. In memory of Benjamin Zephaniah. God bless you all. Thank you for coming. Please help yourself to food. See Tanya and Katie, please, to get involved as well. Thank you very much. But most of all, thank you, Tippa and Millie, for being here this evening. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, Bishop.
Oh, don't know. Go on. So please, you go and help yourself. We've got chicken, we have callaloo, we've got fried dumplings, we've got coleslaw. Please have as much as you want.